In honor of Wonderly's theme for the month, I wanted to talk about some of my favorite movies with masks in them. I've divided them into 2 different categories for the moment. In the first category, we have the masked heroes. So you've got Batman. All of the Christopher Nolan trilogy is actually really, really good. I just got through watching The Dark Knight Rises. That's the last one, right, with JGL. Very, very good. Love JGL's character. And I thought that Christian Bale toned down the in his voice. So, very, very good, and I'm really biased towards Catwoman. I thought Anne Hathaway did a really, really good job. Zorro, you can judge me all you want to, but the Antonio Banderas version that happens to have Catherine Zeta-Jones in it is actually really, really good. Just the first Zorro movie, okay? I think it's called The Mask of Zorro. The one after that, not so much. Only the one with Anthony Hopkins in it with them. That one is actually okay. It's like a good guilty pleasure, watch it on a rainy day in the afternoon kind of movie. So the last one in this category is Princess Bride. It's perfect, right? Wesley uses the mask so he can understand how Buttercup went from being in love with him to being engaged to the prince. Of course, he also uses the mask so that the people he's fighting to get to Buttercup don't know who he is. But, still, it creates a sense of intrigue. It's also attached to the character he's playing of Dread Pirate Roberts. Plus, Princess Bride, out of all 3 of these, is definitely my favorite. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been a Batman fan from way back, but Princess Bride is always good. Always good. The second category in my masked movies extravaganza. Yes, I'm doing a lot of the waving of the hands today. So my second category with masks has to do with dances, and where the masked dances are kind of an integral part of the plot. Now, there are a couple of movies that I kind of like where masked dances play an ish kind of part, like Van Helsing, which is good around Halloween, Mirror Mirror, which is sort of terrible but kind of funny, and Penelope, where the mask is kind of used in the end to replicate the face she once had, which is extremely interesting. And it's followed by a super cute kiss with a Scottish guy, so who's not in love with that? However, the one where the masked dances are actually integral to the story, okay? We got the classics of Romeo and Juliet and any incarnation thereof, so whenever Romeo and Juliet is mixed a little bit with Cinderella, like any of the Cinderella story movies, masks are used so that the 2 people can kind of fall in love with personalities before they fall in love with looks, which I think is really cool. I am a little biased to the Hilary Duff, Chad Michael Murray version of a Cinderella story, just because I think it's really cute and pretty well done, actually, dialogue-wise. It's kind of peppy, it's kind of catchy. But again, that's kind of a guilty pleasure movie that you watch whenever nobody's around. The best mask use in a musical that I can think of is pretty obvious, right? Phantom of the Opera. Now, it has a masked dance where the masks are used by everybody. Yay, Masquerade Ball. And I love that song, by the way. Masquerade! But more importantly, the Phantom in Phantom of the Opera uses a mask the entire time to kind of add an aura of mystery to his character. It conceals who he is on the inside from everybody on the outside. It's the most obvious difference between him and other people until you find out about, the scarred face and stuff. But it's also, within all of the different movies that I mentioned so far, it's also the only one where the mask is, legitimately used. Like, he's using it to try to blend in more of a society because his face doesn't look like anybody else's anymore. Honorable mention goes to Man in the Iron Mask, another way that a mask is used in a weird way in a movie. It has nothing to do with any of the categories that I put up. Go watch that, by the way, if you haven't seen it. Really, really, really interesting use of masks. I also love The Mask with Jim Carrey, right? Classically awesome movie to watch when you're sick. Nice and peppy. It's a guy trying to impress a girl. Cameron Diaz is in it, and she's super cute. It's a little outrageous. It involves a dog who also ends up wearing the mask, but it's definitely a classic 90s film, so The Mask is good. That's all that I have on my list for today, but in honor of Halloween, if you have any Halloween-themed mask movies, we would love to hear about those. And feel free to participate in the mask theme at Wonderly by making your own video about your favorite mask movies, or by taking mask in a more metaphorical sense and talking about the masks that people wear in everyday conversation. Either way, it's a good topic for Halloween, so I'm getting into the Halloween spirit, and you should too. I'll see you next week. Bye! In the end, so that she can understand the true feelings of... Man, I don't remember that character's name.